Welcome everyone to Pick a Topic. We are here with John, my equity partner in my venture, cameraman, editor, marketer, computer guy. He does it all. John, where have you been all my life?
That's a lot to fit on a resume. Thank you.
You know, I was listening to Olivia Newton-John, hopefully devoted to you.
Ah, great song.
Oh my God, staying alive. You know, if it wasn't for the dick thing, if the dick equation was out of it, I would be gay. It's fantastic.
Yeah, even though
thank you, Ali.
even though I'm gay, sometimes you see a penis and it's kind of revolting. So I don't blame you. You know what I mean?
Why? But when I see titties or a girl's butt, I never get revolted or repulsed in any way. I think, wow, I wish I had that right now.
I like how we're a minute in and we're already talking about this. It's great.
It's
But
my fault.
I'm
I
curious
apologize.
then. So what from all the vaginas that you've seen, you think they're all beautiful?
It's like bad pizza. You're still going to eat it. It's still good. I will never change. By the way, pick a topic will never be pick a dick.
Yeah.
Even though, shit, it rhymes.
Yeah.
But no,
So it's like you've been sitting under a heat lamp all day or something.
I've got to tell you, many, many years ago, I was with this young lady. I was 24, your age, and she was 17. I know, underage, but the statute is long gone. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We can
We'll
talk
cut
about
that part out, dog.
And no, you don't have to. So it's been so many years. And she was lying on her back and she had a phenomenal body. I met her at the mall. And she didn't want to go to like anything extravagant. She just wanted to go to Denny's. Back then I would buy her a single cassette. Remember those? No.
Yeah. I've
Really?
seen them. I mean, I don't remember them, but they're still around. I go to record stores a lot, so I see them there.
Record stores. They used to have them in Hollywood, but they still have them?
Yeah. I've got a whole collection just that I've been building for the past couple of years. I really like it. It's good. But a lot of the record stores I go to, it's like pre-2000s with all of their stuff. So
Phil Collins.
yeah, I have a lot of disco, which is great.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I have Andy Gibb. I have Saturday Night Fever. I got that one for $1.
Bee Gees.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
I couldn't pass that up.
And now, I look at now I've, lost 200 pounds. I'm going to the gym sometimes 2-3 times a day.
Right.
I go to different gyms so they don't think I'm crazy going to the same gym. Like he's got nothing to do. Look, he's back.
Yeah.
But now that I've built my body, I look in the mirror and I think, wow, any girl would, if I was a girl, I would like to have me. I would love to have me. Any person. If I was gay, I'd have men draped all over me, right? Like, Bobby, get off my ear. Stop nibbling. I'm watching a movie. They would be all over me.
Yeah, if you went to a bathhouse, you would be traumatized, I think.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's funny that you say that because I've never been turned off by titties, except not turned off, but years ago, I went for a massage. And a young lady, unrobed, and she was giving me a massage.
Asian?
Yes. And
I don't know why. I just had to ask.
I wanted to suck on her titties.
Uh-huh.
And she comes forward, she takes off her shirt, and she looked very sad. She only had one titty. So she couldn't speak. This is a true story. True story. 100% true.
Yeah.
And she looked at me like, I'm disappointed. And the one she had was nice and plump and nice and, fine. But it was just one. And she said she couldn't speak English at all. And she said, cancer. Cancer.
Yeah.
And she said, and I looked at her and she said, you want different girl? And I thought, well, I don't want to offend her or, let her down. I feel so bad because other men probably turned her down, didn't want her because she's got one titty.
Yeah.
So I said, no, it's fine. So I started sucking on her one titty.
Right. Freeze up the other hands. So.
Well, as I'm sucking on one titty, I'm thinking this is an omen. This is going to be a horrible year because it was New Year. It was New Year's Day. And I'm thinking the rest of the year guaranteed will go badly, catastrophically. I'm sucking on one titty.
Right.
This is a bad thing. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't, like a dog on a bone. I just had to have that one titty and it was fine. So I've never been turned off. It's interesting that you see a dick and you get
because
sometimes.
There's pretty dicks and there's not pretty dicks.
Mine is beautiful.
Yeah. Boy, I'm never showing this episode to my grandma, that's for sure.
Well, I told the story on a previous podcast where the moil back then, it wasn't like now they have a licensed urologist who's a moil who circumcises Jewish babies at 8 days.
Right. Yeah.
I told this previously, right?
I don't think so.
No, where the moil was, he was a drunk, and they give the babies red wine
Oh, right.
to numb them. I told this story, right? And so he wouldn't remember if he gave me wine or not, and he would
Oh,
drink
right.
himself, and
Yeah,
he would
yeah.
go through the prayers, Joshua, Jesus, Moses,
Right.
and every time he would drink himself, so he kept cutting me. So I'm like triple circumcised. I'm beautiful.
Oh, God.
I told this story before,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah. So
I
it's
remember thinking, I was standing just over there. I remember thinking when you told that, I was like, I was a little scared of what they did to you.
well, no, it's worked out. Now that I've lost weight, it's longer, and you don't mind I talk about this, right?
No, no, no.
It's longer and bigger, and sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night because I have to pee. I'm older, like 2, 3 in the morning, and I just stare at myself. It's beautiful, and I'm thinking, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to do OnlyFans, but I don't want to take away from my brand and from the comedy podcast. But it's
Yeah,
nice and long. I want to take a pic and send it to people, but I'm like, no, they're not going to like that. Don't do that.
Would you ever send it to your wife or?
I have.
Oh, okay.
So we've been married almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Just in the last 2 years, I've been sending her dick pics. Like she works not too far away from here. So when I wanted to come over for a booty call, I take a pic. I'm like, oh, are you in the mood? You want some dick?
Yeah.
And I send her a picture. But, before I send it, because I'm a grower, I talked about that. So I play with it for a minute.
Yeah.
It's nice and it gets bigger. And then I take a pic.
Yeah, yeah. You can't send a flaccid picture. That's just not.
Yeah, she'd be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll come another time. I'm
Not,
busy.
it doesn't add to the. There's only so much appeal you can, so much you can raise the bar, so to speak.
But when she sees it, she's like, I've got a meeting, but let me come quick. I'm like, okay.
Well, apparently uncircumcised dicks are back in vogue. This is what I've heard.
But they're ugly.
You think so?
I've seen the pornos, and like I don't mind if the girl's really turning me on. I don't care if the guy is not circumcised. I'm still,
Are you talking about, is this in a threesome situation?
No,
or
when
what's
I'm
going
watching a
on?
porno.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I can't watch. So it doesn't matter if the guy's not circumcised because I'm enjoying the girl and I'm getting off and I'm aroused.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can't watch the black guys in the pornos because I'm looking at him. I'm like, you're trying to imagine that you're doing the girl, but the guy is so gigantic. I just get intimidated and I change it to another porno.
Interesting.
I can't have the black guy pornos watching the black guys. Sometimes I can, but if the guy's too big,
Yeah.
they have the artificial ones. Have you seen that in the pornos? It looks like 3 feet long.
Artificial.
I think
You mean
they're-
like in like Boogie Nights?
Well, I haven't seen the movie. I heard about it, but yeah, go watch it.
Yes, definitely.
Really?
And this isn't just because I'm saying this as a homosexual, like it really is actually a good movie. But you do see, giant Mark Wahlberg penis in it, and
It's his?
no, it's a prosthetic.
I think that's the ones in the pornos. Sometimes like it comes for like 5 minutes. It's coming. I'm like, no, that's got to be a machine that's
My
that's
God.
doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
It's too overproduced, that stuff.
Have we run out of things to talk about?
No, I don't think so. Well,
Can I tell you about this morning? What happened to me?
Sure. Yeah.
So there's a crossing guard. I drop off my kids at school, and we don't know her name. She's about 32, 33. Perfect for me. I know a prize. And she's really hot. She wears these. Did I talk about her before? I'm so old.
Boy,
I can't remember.
there's a lot of women I think that I'd have to really think about. Keep going, maybe.
She wears really, really short shorts, and she's got. Obviously, she works out. She's got nice legs. American. Usually, I'm not attracted to the American girls. I like Hispanic. I like flavor. I like black, Asian. But she's white as white can be, and she works out, and she looks good, and she's really commanding with her stop sign. We named her Susie Stop Sign.
I forgot it was a cross guard lady for a while. Yeah.
They have that. So we call her Susie Stop Sign, and I pretend like I'm talking for her.
Yeah.
And Susie Stop Sign is very commanding with her stop sign. And I thought, I saw her this morning, and she always turns me on.
Well, I need to hear the impression first
Well,
of her.
okay, fine. So this is it. I told my kids, and they never laugh at anything I say. They're like, Dad, give it up. You're not funny. But they laughed.
Yeah.
So I said, I can never have a relationship with Susie Stop Sign because imagine I'm going down on her.
You said this while you're driving your kids to school?
Yeah, they're
okay.
teenagers. It's okay. And imagine I'm going down and she's like, stop! I didn't shower. And I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's the punchline.
Nice.
That's it.
That was good.
There was another crossing guard. She just retired. She was Hungarian. I would lower the window just to say hi because her Hungarian accent would turn me on. And just to hear, have a good day, just in her Hungarian, like I would pretend she was a Hungarian hoe, and I'm in Hungary and Budapest.
I'm trying to think. I can't quite place a Hungarian accent. Can you?
Oh, so sexy. And she retired, and I don't have her number, but I knew she was Hungarian
Yeah.
before I asked her. And she's Hungarian, and she went to visit her family, and then she retired, and she was like so petite, and Hungarian accent was such a turn on. And so I think we've exhausted all our girl jokes, and
Yeah.
pick a topic.
Shucks, man. I'm drawing a blank right now.
You can go back to
be
Dick
completely honest.
anytime.
Yeah. Well. Crud. Man. See, this is why I'm behind the camera normally.
I'm so glad that I met you, because my former partner was not putting in the work, the guy from Africa, and he was just not doing the work.
Yeah.
And so then I was looking for a new partner,
Right.
and then the musicians recording studio recommended you.
Right.
And I'm so glad we got together, because you
Definitely.
love the vision, you're dedicated to the vision, you see where we're going, and you love to work, and you love to do this kind of work, and you love the equipment we have.
Yeah. It's amazing.
The studio, we remodeled it,
Yeah.
curtains, air.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the first episode. Maybe not the first episode that the viewers will see with the new setup, but
Right.
Yeah, it looks very crisp from what I saw before I walked over here. But I was thinking actually, I talked to my two brothers a lot about relationships and stuff, and they're both straight. And I realized
Ian and Alex. You
Yeah.
see, I had to say their names over and over, and I related their names. You have to remember a name. You have to remember like a famous person. Sir Ian.
Yeah, see, it's Ian after the guy from Echo and the Bunnymen, the lead guy.
Ian Fleming.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Right.
I'm going to be the person James Bond in another
Oh,
5
right.
pounds. Remember? I'm sure I told that story.
Yeah. And but anyway, I realized women are objectified a lot, and they realize that they don't like being objectified by men in the same way that women are often objectified by men, which I thought was interesting, because for gay guys it's the complete opposite. It's like, please objectify me. What do you think about that?
I think that the gay thing is beautiful. Gay means happy,
That's true.
but the dick thing, I can't get over it.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you got objectified, if the guy came up to you and like treated
They
you like
have.
a piece of meat or something,
I tell them, you have eyes. Go ahead and look. God gave you eyes.
Right.
Sometimes I ask people for, do you have the time? I forgot to wear my watch. They're like, yeah. And they look at me up and down. I have lost weight. And, in shorts, I can leg press 1,000 pounds. I've got a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
And they look like I'm a lollipop. Like Tom and Jerry, remember the pit bull they would like have a bone?
Yeah.
And they would
Right.
and they look at me like that. And I'm like, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's flattering.
Right.
I'm not gay, but it's nice to be wanted.
Yeah.
And just go ahead and look at me. It's
See,
wonderful.
all the times that I've been hit on by women, I didn't know that was happening. It's more.
I've never been hit on by a woman.
No.
And you have the irony of life.
Just because when
Fucking sucks.
they're talking. I was actually this woman. She kept talking to me about football.
You should have gave him my number.
I think this was before we met, actually, but she just kept going on and on about football. Little does she know, I don't give a shit about football. Like, I've never, I just don't watch.
Oh, fuck. My kids don't
but-
like football. Are my kids gay?
Well,
I hope not, because you know what? Gay is fine, but I want grandchildren, and I think we talked about this before. It's not easy, right? Because society doesn't, here in LA, it's beautiful. California state protects all their citizens. I love California so much.
yeah.
But in the world,
Yes, in the world, definitely not. Like I'd
No.
love to visit Morocco, but I'm just never gonna go.
you'd get kidnapped.
Yeah, it just wouldn't
Russia,
work
you'd get
out.
killed.
Yeah, I'd have to
And that's
really,
fucking wrong.
really lock down like the straight presentation. But I don't know. When you saw me, did you think, oh, this guy's a faggot?
No, well, first
Sorry,
of all,
I
I
probably
wouldn't
should've-
think of the word faggot.
No, yeah,
I
no.
wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Unless like I hated you, that motherfucking, But it's like the N word. It's ugly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even
Luckily-
if I hated you, I wouldn't think in those terms.
No, yeah.
But I didn't think you were gay.
Right.
Remember When
No,
you
yeah.
told me, I was surprised.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I remember that.
Right. Because to me it seems like it's obvious, but to other people, I guess not. So
Because you already know
right. Yeah.
that you're gay. But you know, in Israel, where I was born,
Yeah.
almost 10% of the population is gay. The highest gay population in the world. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did actually. The Tel Aviv Pride is one of the biggest in the world.
I was there.
You were?
Not in the festival, but I was in the elevator with like 10 gay guys. And my kid at the time was 4 years old.
Oh wow.
I'm like, oh my God. And he's 4.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know he's there. We were there at the Hilton at the time they were having the festival. And
That's amazing.
Well, not for me.
Well, no, yeah, but
You would have loved it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was the festival at that time because we were just going to the Mediterranean, the beach. We're at the Hilton, nice hotel.
right.
And it happened to be at that time in the summer.
Yeah.
So I think in the US, it's like maybe 6% gay
yeah.
population.
Oh, something like that. Yeah. I should probably know this, but
But what I was getting at, my original point,
Yeah.
it's really hard. So life is going to be hard enough with so many things you're dealing with.
yeah.
You don't want to, I want to make my children's lives easier.
Yeah.
I want them to prosper and not be assaulted,
Right.
not worry about that,
No, yeah.
not be intimidated, harassed.
Well,
you know.
luckily, I think
I want to be the only one to harass them.
right. Well, I think family really makes a big difference, regardless of their orientation. Like my grandma, for example, you would think so, old that she wouldn't be cool with it. But the only thing she cares about, which I find just so amusing, is she's like, as long as the man is Jewish. And I was
A
like,
Jewish man.
yeah, right.
That's so fucking cool.
I know. So she's totally fine with the gay thing, but as long as she wants to honor the rules. So
She loves you
yeah, she's the best.
and she loves you unconditionally.
Yeah,
Just like I would love my children unconditionally no matter what.
right. Yeah,
I wouldn't be happy because of everything I've already talked about. But if that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
yeah.
And that's fine.
Because that's one of the biggest things I think for people, for gay guys or gay people in general, who if they have issues, it's because their parents don't accept them or their family cast them out or anything.
I'll accept them.
Yeah.
You want dick? Go get some dick.
Yeah.
That's fine for me. I wouldn't be able to understand it.
Yeah.
Because if I raised them, and I taught them about girls and all the stuff, and remember the Carl's Jr. training with the Carl's Jr. girl eating the hamburger. And so I sat them down. We had the training with the pickles. Do you guys like cheeseburger?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So after all that,
So what it'd be? I'm a hot dog guy or something.
no, it's fine. You like hot dogs? That's fine. Go get a hot dog. But I would not prefer that. That would not be ideal.
Yeah.
So when my 17-year-old came to me and said I invited the girl to the prom, I'm like, fuck yeah. Does she have a mom for me? Auntie?
Yeah.
Grandma? I'm not picky.
Yeah.
But and when girls look at me at the gym, they stare at me and then they look away because society tells them I'm too old to look at. Don't look at the older guy. But I want to tell them, everything okay with the cameras?
Just gonna check this one.
Okay, let's take a break.
Oh no, it's fine. We're fine.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
we're back.
Yeah.
So I see girls at the gym looking at me when I'm wearing my short shorts and my muscle shirt and I'm working out, and they're looking and they look away real quick. And I want to tell them, don't look away. Just talk to me. I'm easy to pick up. Come on.
See, that's why I need to start going to the gym because I've kind of had an inverse relationship so far compared to you with weight and everything because I've always been very underweight, and
That's better than overweight.
no, but yes, but I feel very self-conscious about it, and I feel like people like whenever I would go out and I'd be wearing like a tank top or something, I'd get remarks and people would point out how skinny I am, and I don't like that,
Would you rather have a pot belly? And
Well, no, but I don't have a choice, so
but that's good.
no, yeah,
My 13-year-old took off his shirt, and I said, you know what? You can go right now to William Morris Agency and sign up and be a runway model. He's 13. He's 6 feet tall. He's about a half inch from being my height. In shoes, he's taller than me now.
Right.
By the end of the year, he'll be taller. And I'm thinking you have 7 more years of growing. David Robinson, the famous NBA player, age 21, he grew 7 inches to become 7 feet. He was already a superstar at 6'7".
Yeah.
And this is when he played for Navy. Go with me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And
I'll
so
pretend like I know basketball.
I grew 5 inches at age 19. I was 5'7" when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I was a little sad when I went to the doctor a little while ago, and I've been 6'1" my whole life. And my favorite go-to is that I'm 6'1". You know, when I'm talking to a lady, I'm 6'1" barefoot. If you were wondering, you know, I go into oh my God, if I wasn't estranged with my mom, she would love you.
Yeah.
But now I can't say that because I lost a full inch. Thank God, only in height. And now I'm 6 foot even my height barefoot. So I can't say 6 foot barefoot. Fucked up. The line, I can't use that line. And my kids like, lie, Daddy. Just say you're 6'1" barefoot.
Yeah. I think my dad's having a similar experience, actually. He's also kind of, well, now that I've already said it, I can't stop. But he's also, I think, shrunk a little, you know? And so that makes me the tallest in my family.
So there's something I didn't tell you before, because you've spoken about your dad many times, and I love it when you speak about your family. I love to get to know you. But when you bring your dad up, I'm not crazy about that because I feel like I want to be like your friend, your older friend that you met at the park. You know, we were walking. Maybe I was like masturbating at the park and you met me and like we're friends, you know, but I'm not gay any longer, but we're still good friends. Or I'm like your really cool uncle. But when you bring up your dad, I'm like, oh, fuck, he sees me as like an old guy. Just like the girls at the gym. I don't want them to, you know, bring up their dad when I'm talking to a 19 or 20-year-old girl, unless they have daddy issues and they'll want me. I'm like, oh, fuck, your dad molested you? I'm so sorry. Oh, she's going to want me for sure now.
See, well, first I'm going to say, you know, I don't know. Would you call yourself an extrovert?
I am, but not always. Do you want me to turn on the fan? Is it getting warm or you're okay?
Yeah, actually, if you could.
Okay, so let's just take it.
Are you an extrovert?
I am now, but when I was in high school, I was antisocial.
Interesting.
I think I had autism and I worked my way out of it somehow over the years because I was so antisocial. I had girls come up to me wanting to go out with me and I would turn them away. I know you can't imagine that. I'd be like, let's go. Where do you want to go? Do you want an iPad? What do you want for your birthday's coming up?
Yeah.
But I would turn them away. I remember girls would come up and beautiful, blonde hair, blue eyes. I remember one girl's name was Jamie and she wanted to be my girlfriend. And my cousin went to the drive-through, but the girl who lived in the apartment complex said, I can only go to the drive-through if you bring someone for my younger sister, Jamie, who was in my high school, Reseda High School. Horrible. And people would like get killed there at Reseda High. Killed.
Mine was
murdered.
Yeah, jeez.
Now, it's the only school in the valley, in the entire LA area, that has metal detectors all these decades. So, and I would spurn her away. She went to the drive-thrus and she sat next to me while her older sister was with my cousin outside of the car. And she came up next to me and she was like touching my leg. And now I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so like excited. But back then I was like, what is she doing? No. And the next day she came up to me and I told her to go away. I wanted to be alone. I think I had problems.
You think you were a late bloomer?
No, I think I had problems with like mental problems. I think I had autism in some way.
Yeah.
I was on the spectrum in some way. Maybe I still am, but I've managed it over the years better. But you're an extrovert.
You think so? Wow.
Yeah, you're great the way you are.
Yeah, I try, but I see myself as more of an introvert, you know? Like when we were talking about, you know, making friends and everything like that, I just don't do that, you know? Kind of a homebody, you know? I just kind of do my thing. I try and be nice and kind and everything and polite, but yeah, you know, I get tuckered out pretty quickly from social situations. I will say alcohol and that kind of stuff helps, you know what I mean? But you know, it's only so much before I just need to go home and chill with my cat.
I didn't know you had a cat.
Yeah. Tuxedo cat latte.
Her name is Latte.
Yeah.
You know, did you know I use the gay thing a lot whenever I'm in a tight spot or I need something? Here in California State, when they find out you're gay, you get things.
Oh, it's a superpower.
I love it.
Yeah, it
I love
really is.
it.
It's a cheat code. I feel guilty almost for the straight people in my life because it's a struggle, you know.
Well, I want to let you know something very disappointing. I found out yesterday that the federal government declared me officially not disabled.
Okay.
And I really wanted that $11,000 they were going to send me, and not to spend on hookers or anything, but and $1,000 a month. And I'm not disabled. They said, "Oh, you can work," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm doing my work. I'm doing a comedy podcast and I'm doing a comedy channel."
Right.
But they don't know me, and I thought, I'm not disabled with the feds, but with California State, they still think I'm disabled.
What kind of disabled were you like trying to go for?
Well, I told them for the last 35, 40 years, I've had major depression. I was diagnosed with depression disorder.
Yeah.
And for California State, that's good enough. Boom, you're disabled.
Oh.
You had depression. It's fantastic. I can cut in line at the DMV. There's nothing like it.
Wow.
Nobody gets mad. There's like 400 people in line. They're understanding. They give you a chair. Not that I need one, because the depression is not going to all of a sudden kick in at the DMV.
Right. Yeah.
But it can. So it's considered, you know,
If
and
anywhere for it to kick in, I feel like it could be the DMV actually.
well, you know, I have a lot of things: anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. But with the federal government, 99.9% of disability claims are physical. Your back is fucked up. You can't walk. You're in a wheelchair. So they don't do good with the mental things. You know, the mental stuff, like if you have post-traumatic stress disorder, you can still work.
Right.
You can do like a telemarketing. Can you imagine me? Good morning, sir. Don't hang up, motherfucker.
God.
Right? I wouldn't do that. I couldn't do it. But they're not. They don't think that way. They're like, oh, you can still do this and that. But they're right. I'm working. I love to work, but I do have depression and other things too.
Yeah.
But I'm able to work, and I'm able to work with others very well.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Thank you. You're not just saying that.
No. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
So
Scout's honor.
I'm funny, right?
Yes.
Very funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago, you went into a computer store, a computer
right.
repair store.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Here we
man.
go.
Here we go.
So,
I've been anticipating this for a while.
so I was friends with that man. Fuck, when I'm talking about the guy, I feel like I'm gay, but it feels good though. I don't know why it feels good.
Yeah. Boy, if I don't think I have as many women's stories as you have men's stories, probably.
15 years I've known him. And fuck it, loved him.
Yeah.
But like in a manly way.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, we went to Las Vegas, and he's always, you know, he married a lady who comes from a good family. And so they have money. They live in a nice multi-million-dollar house, and he's always, you know, he does good with his business and all that. So he's always gambling over the years. He's always lost at the high roller blackjack. He's never won. He takes me to Vegas to the UFC 300. It was my first exposure to UFC. I find it very gory because people were like yelling when the fighters were not fighting enough and punching enough, and when they were taking a break. I thought like it was like not for me. I didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I liked the atmosphere. It was a party atmosphere. People are doing marijuana all around me. They're sharing marijuana with me.
Right.
People from like Pittsburgh drug dealers were there in front of me. They all found me funny. We're all taking pictures. It was a great musical, you know, a great time, like a real party. I loved it for that.
Yeah.
And then I started to like the fighting after, but not the really bloody part, because I feel like when they're down, they shouldn't keep punching.
Yeah.
Because I was bullied a lot and I had a lot of bad experiences. For that reason, I don't like that part of it. So where was I going with that? I was telling you about the UFC because, I was there with him.
Oh, right.
With
the
my
guy.
friend.
That
Yes.
You love.
I'm the only one he could have taken, because he has cheap friends, loser friends. No one's going to pay $1,000 a seat. No one. None of his friends. He has to pay for them to go,
Right.
which he didn't want to do. So I told him, look, I don't want to spend more than $1,000 for a ticket, but he knows I'm a baller.
Yeah.
So he comes back and says each ticket is $2,500.
Right.
He knew I was going to give him the money, even though I didn't want to spend more than $1,000 for a seat.
Yeah.
I gave him the money. He was happy. We went. We had a great time. The first time in his entire life, he's winning at blackjack. Why? They let me, Tony,
What do you mean winning at blackjack? Like
the first time
this
ever.
is separate from the UFC thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're there at the UFC event,
Uh-huh.
but like after and before,
okay.
we're gambling at the high roller.
Right.
And the first time ever, he's winning at blackjack big time. Why? Because they allowed me to sit on the table, even though I was not gambling. I was supporting him. And Tony Rockman sitting on the table. So what am I doing when I'm sitting on the table?
Your good luck charm.
Telling jokes.
Oh, right, yeah. of
I was
course.
telling joke after joke after joke after joke.
Yeah.
The dealer was miscounting, giving him too much money.
I
The managers were coming up to me, shaking my hand with two hands like I'm a god. You know, I was telling jokes. They've never heard anything like it before.
Right.
By the way, 8 months later, I went there by myself. 8 months later, the cocktail waitresses remembered the drink I was drinking.
Wow. What was the drink?
It was like a watermelon blend. And imagine.
That's the gayest thing you've said so far.
Really? Watermelon?
Yeah.
I fucking love it. It was so good. So, but the point is, all the people they've served in the last 8 months, they remembered my drink.
Right.
That's how funny I was. And he
Yeah.
was winning. So when I first met his wife, she said she fell off a horse and broke her leg. I told her how I dated a stripper named Kelly when I was 18. And when I first kissed her on the mouth, I came up with a new form of comedy where you don't need to speak. It's just like a mime type of stand-up. And I got a standing ovation. First time ever I did comedy. With that comedy that I discovered and created when I kissed Kelly for the first time. She would send me, we were pen pals because back then before phones. She was gorgeous. And then she broke up with me. She would be a pen pal. She went to live with her mom in Oregon. She would put perfume on the envelopes when she sent it to me. She's the only girl in my entire life that gave me flowers when she met me.
Wow.
I know, fucking Kelly. So she broke up with me, went to live in Oregon, and fell off her mom's horse and broke both her legs. And this is the story I was telling his wife
wow.
the first time I met his wife. And I said, you know what? I was so happy when she fell because that's what she gets for breaking up with me. And she laughed too.
Oh, well, that's good that she laughed.
Well, I told her so many stories, and I've told him over 15 years and all his friends and people that came in his store so many stories and so many things to make him laugh. But he scared me that weekend because he was doing a lot of mushrooms. And he was like going to have a heart attack. He's like 6'7". You saw he's tall.
Yeah.
And he was fucking the wall. And I was really
Like American
scared.
Pie style, or what do you mean?
I'm not sure of he was so high on the mushrooms that even his drug dealer later told him, you need to slow down. That's when you know you're doing too much, when the drug dealer's telling you that.
Right.
So I was really scared. He looked terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And so he comes to me like a week later and he tells me, we're talking about my jokes and how I want to do a comedy channel and this and that.
Right.
And he's telling me, the only reason, Tony, that people laugh at your jokes is because they're being polite. I said, why are you fucking insulting me?
Yeah. That was a mean thing to say.
I said, that's so insulting. Yeah. You can say I'm ugly. I'm a loser. Talk about my ugly kids. Talk about my wife. Obviously, if I was rich and not met my wife in a parking lot, I'd have a better looking wife, better looking kids. So I said, why are you insulting me? He said two more things along the same lines.
Yeah.
And for my mental survival, my head has blocked it out because it was that bad. So then the straw that broke this camel's back is I'm texting him the next day. And I said, my dream is to do a podcast and I want to tell my funny stories. And then he texts back.
So he's sober now by the time when you...
No, he's still during this period of time telling me that people are laughing, not because my jokes are funny, but because they're being polite.
So what did he text?
You can say it's the most false thing you can say about me. You can say anything about me, but the very last thing you're going to say about me is what? That I'm not funny.
Yes.
The very last thing, because it's the most absurd, false thing that you can have.
Right.
So then the next day I'm texting him, and at this point I'm really mad at him. So then I said my dream is to do a podcast. And as my friend for 15 years, if you were my friend 15 years, you would say what? You would support me and say, go for it.
Yeah, right.
He tells me ready? You're in the chair. You're not going to fall over.
Holding on.
He says, how do you know the stories are going to be funny? That was it.
You blocked him?
I blocked him after saying you always cause a lot of trouble to your wife, and
Yeah.
how does your wife stand you?
Yeah, that's-
Stupid stuff. Because he said something beyond stupid.
Right.
That's it. That's it. That was it.
Yeah. I
As if
wouldn't.
it's-
I wouldn't tolerate that cruelty either.
No, because first of all, it's not just cruelty. It's the most false thing you can say about me. Because first of all, everyone knows I'm funny. And on top of that, so he got into my head
So
for
he must have secretly just not liked you then, or something. Probably.
15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. We spent so much time together, hung out so many times.
Well, maybe it was the drugs. Sorry, I'm so
It's gotta be.
used to being a devil's advocate. I just always kind of.
But you know what? Even when you're on drugs, you know if you're robbing a bank, you know if you're fucking someone else's wife. I mean, you still know that you don't remember all the times you laughed, your wife laughed, all the stories. When I'm sitting at the table with you, and by the way, he said I said, you know what? You're winning $18,000. You never won blackjack before. You know, by the way, if someone says something verbally on a gambling table to affect the action, negative or positive, you get penalized. So I'm doing all these jokes, and he's winning $18,000 off me, off my jokes.
Without getting penalized.
Didn't get penalized. They're loving it.
Yeah.
So they're not penalizing at all. And it's a high roller anyway. So I said, you know what? Why don't you just give me a discount, $2,000 back on my UFC? So most people would say, yeah, sure. That's reasonable. I won all this money. So he's Persian, right? So he says to me, and I'll never forget it. He says to me, I will if I win some more.
And he already won 8,000.
No, he had won close to 15,000 at that
Oh
point.
wow.
That was Friday night.
God.
So the next day was a UFC event, Saturday all day, and then we went to the MGM High Roller. Again, I'm doing my thing on the table, making people laugh, making the dealer laugh. Everyone's loving it. The floor man's loving it. He wins about 3,000, 3,500 quick.
Yeah.
So
You bring it up again.
there you go.
Yeah.
If he wins more,
Right.
okay?
Should have got that in writing.
He didn't. No, he should have just done the right thing and
No,
given
yeah.
me back
No,
my
you're right.
$2,000, which he didn't.
Yeah.
But I let that go. And then the funny thing where I'm not funny came after that. So it was like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
And telling me my dream podcast, how do you know the stories are going to be funny?
Right. So
After
now,
15 years of telling him funny stories, like the one I told his wife about Kelly falling off the horse.
I gotta say, you have quite a nemesis list. I think now.
But that is not really someone that I wish a bad on.
No, right.
Because when I lose another 5 pounds and I'm there, I'm going to go back and be like, pow, because his store's right there. And the other day, I almost hit his car by accident,
Right.
which is not believable. I told that story.
No, yeah.
So that was what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I've never actually been gambling. I've never.
You don't want to start.
Well, I would go a lot to Las Vegas as a child with my family and everything. My mom would always bring us on trips in the summer. And I just got, it's weird being in those casino environments, even just walking through as a kid.
I had a gambling addiction for many, many, many years. Right, I ended up sleeping in the back seat of the car, and
really?
like the trucks would come by 4 a.m. and wake me up.
I
and
think now is probably the easiest time to be a gambling addict.
No, it was the most horrible time. I ended up sleeping on the sidewalks, and when I had no money, I would drive to Vegas with $80 with a gas tank full, but I drive back on empty. And if my car, my little Mercury Tracer, which is like a Ford Escort, which I would sleep in at my height, and I was a big boy, it was very uncomfortable. I would drive back on fumes.
Oh my God.
By the grace of God, I got back.
All the way from Las Vegas to here? Holy
By the
cow.
grace of God.
Yeah.
Even at 50 miles per gallon for the tank, by the grace of God, I don't know how. And every single time, I never got a hotel or a motel because I would spend that money gambling. And
Right.
$80, so I would go there, lose the $80, and immediately drive back 5 hours. I was really sick.
Yeah.
I was really bad.
Dang.
I would sleep at the airport.
So you never just want to go to the Nevada border and just do it there? You'd want to go all the way?
Yeah, and I would. Sometimes I would stop at Buffalo Bills at the state line. But I remember there was a downtown airport, which they don't have anymore, with little planes. And when I worked at the Grand Canyon at your age, it was like 300 round trip from the Grand Canyon to Vegas because it was an hour.
Yeah.
But for workers at the Grand Canyon, it was like $35, $40 round trip. And I would take my money at the end of the week working there as a host because I looked good at 24. You know, I was host of the main hotel.
My God.
El Tovar Hotel. People would tip me $20 to get one of the 5 tables with a view of the Grand Canyon.
Right.
And they'd tip me 5 and I would turn them down because after being tipped $20, it was offensive to get tipped 5. I was dumb, right?
Yeah.
You gotta take that money.
I used to be a valet at a car company, and so I would get tips also. I would drive people back to their homes or work or anything. And one time I drove this guy home. I was really trying too. I was working for that tip, and he opens up his wallet and he has all these bills, and he gives me just a single $1 bill. And I couldn't help but laugh, just out of surprise.
That's worse than me.
It was already over at that point. I knew he wasn't going to give me any more. So
And you laugh.
yeah,
I've never even done that.
it was just I couldn't control it, just a short like a ha,
It wasn't even a real laugh. It was a ha.
No, yeah.
You sound like my kids. When I tell a joke, they ha ha. I'm like, oh my God, they're not just saying it's not
that
funny.
Guy though for giving me just $1. I'd rather he just give me nothing. It's almost more disrespectful.
No, you have to hand the $1 over and say at the same time, give a little story. Like, I'm sorry, that's all I have.
But see, I knew that's not all that he had. I knew too much, maybe.
Do you mind if we take a break? The next podcast guest is here.
No, not at all.
I'll let him in and we'll continue for a little bit. Everyone, okay, so we're rolling?
Yep.
It's funny because a podcast guest texted me, can I please have a preview of our show? I'm like, no, I don't think John will like that. I'll let you know when it's on.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you send me a link? I'm like, dude, I'm too old. I don't know how to do links.
I can do that. I can.
No, we don't want to do that. We'll just tell them it's on. They can just go on YouTube.
No, they got to
Spotify.
spread it like the gospel. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. You're Jesus in this situation. So.
The funny Jesus.
Yeah.
But he was Jewish like me.
Exactly. So it works out great.
Oh, we watched Passion of the Christ Saturday night.
Oof, that's a hard watch.
With my mother-in-law.
Hey.
And she's very, very, very Catholic.
So she ate it up.
No, she was looking away when he was getting beat.
Yeah.
And I kept telling her, muy triste, very sad. And it was horrible. He was getting beaten up. And by the way, that guy who does Jesus, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he is.
What's his name? Cavell?
I can't remember.
He's really good.
I saw it with my ex and his family at their church. And they were all like looking for my reaction to see. And once it was over, they were like, so what do you think? Like, what do you think about Christianity? Like, do you want to convert now?
You're not an atheist, are you?
No, but I'm not a Christian.
But you believe in God.
Oh, well, then I guess I am an atheist.
So you believe in the energy of the universe? There's an energy, even if you don't believe in God, which is, you can believe in whatever you want. There is an energy in the universe.
I sort of just believe what I see, and I don't see any energies. But
okay, explain this to me.
Okay.
If there's no energy in the universe, there's no energy.
Also, I'm open-minded, just to be clear. I'll probably end up believing in an energy or some kind of mother god, something. You know what I mean?
So tell me, years ago, I'm known by the people I tell jokes to.
Yeah.
As a street comic all these years, most people don't know me. Only the people I tell jokes know me.
Right.
So collectively, since I was 15 or 17, when I was a teenager and I started, even though the jokes were really dry, I just started at that time.
Yeah.
I've made maybe, let's say 2 million people laugh.
Yeah.
Total. Let's say 10 to 20 people a day. It comes out to about 2 million.
Yeah.
So most people don't know me. So I'd go to a new town, I'd be traveling, and I'm in a new hotel, never been in that hotel. The housekeeper comes up to me, doesn't know me, I didn't open my mouth, so I'm not telling any jokes. And wants to take a picture with me.
Oh, really?
Really. And this is when I was fat. So it's not like I'm good looking, she wants to get with me, none of that.
You're the biggest guy she's ever seen. She's like, I got to capture this.
That's happened several times.
Oh, really?
How do you explain it?
I don't know. I'm at a loss for words for that one.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Is it like something that's already happened, but you have to work toward that? So the universe is calling you,
Mm.
and the universe is telling you something. The universe is yelling at you. You can't hear the fan turning.
Nope.
It's not gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
So weird, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
See, I don't have any callings from the universe. I don't hear anything from the universe. It's awfully quiet up there.
Wait.
Yeah.
You got with Tony Rockman.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have a calling, but you're like you're like Batman's butler. He fixes the cars.
Alfred.
That's
Okay.
good too, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
in the
I'll take
cave.
Alfred.
Yeah, you're like.
I thought you were
fixing
gonna say Robin. I was like, ugh. I'll take Alfred.
Can I pick my nose on air?
Yeah, we'll zoom in.
So I don't know what just happened, but yeah. So you're fixing the cars.
Yeah.
He needs Alfred. Without
No,
Alfred,
totally.
he has to have him.
Yeah.
Can I give a better example?
Yes.
Like first I thought of Superman,
Okay.
but then I thought, who does Superman need? No one really. His mom
Lois
and dad,
Lane.
but they died. Lois
Yeah.
Lane, not really. She's just a side chick.
Oh, damn,
Right?
Just a side piece. Okay. So who does he need then?
I give her a lot of credit because she recognized he's Superman.
Yeah.
He must have super dick. Let's try it. It must be really good.
Yeah.
Can you
He's
imagine
probably never had good sex though, Superman.
why?
Because he's always holding back. You know, he needs a Kryptonian woman. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
not
don't
some
you-
human girl? She's weak. She's probably like fiberglass to him or something.
Don't you think he gives her like the super, like how he's super fast, and don't you think he gives it to her really fast? It doesn't
She'd
come
probably die.
if he gave it to her full force.
No, yeah, this is me being a nerd. Like she wouldn't make it. You
No,
know?
you're not being a nerd. You're thinking of dick.
He can
It's
he can
normal.
go through the whole planet Earth. You know, she's
Fuck
not
every girl?
lasting. What? No, like through the planet's crust and core, it's pierced the whole fucking planet if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
So I can't think of anyone other than Alfred that you would be. You would be my. Alfred is a great thing to be because you're fixing the stuff. You're helping him help the world.
Yeah.
Who else would you be?
Maybe I'm Oracle. Do you know who that is?
No.
She's Batman's. She was Batgirl, but then she like got disabled because she got shot by the Joker. But that's not relevant. But she ends up being like the tech person who's like helping Batman with everything. She's like, oh, there's a door on your right, and like
That's the comic book or the movie?
the comic book and the games and stuff.
The regular comic book or the gay version? Mainstream? I've never seen that.
No, she's pretty mainstream. I would
I
say.
know who you are. I know who you are. Have you seen the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
I haven't.
You know Don
Sorry.
Rickles, but
Yeah.
you don't know Minority Report.
I've had a weird upbringing, so
Okay, look.
yeah.
My former business partner at the very beginning, I told him you have to watch the movie Minority Report
Okay, that's what I'm gonna
because
do. When I
I'm
get
in
home.
that movie,
Yeah.
metaphorically speaking.
Who are you in the movie?
I'll tell you.
Without spoiling it.
He never watched the fucking movie. I was willing to even pay the $1, $2. It's an old
The
movie.
Prime
And
cost.
yeah, give him my password. And he never wanted to watch it in all the months. But I know you will.
Yeah. So
So right now it's showing on Amazon and everything, Netflix and all that. Okay. So you know the girl who was in a vegetative state, but she had extraordinary abilities.
I haven't seen the movie.
So
but
the movie is about in the future where they know you're going to commit crimes before you do. And there's a police task force that would go and arrest people before they actually committed the crime because they already knew they were about to commit the crime before they committed the crime. And that was the movie.
I'm very curious who you're gonna say that I am now
So
in this movie.
there was an extraordinary girl, but she was a vegetable. She couldn't move. She couldn't do anything. She can barely talk, but she can see the future.
Super vegetable.
And the police task force would use her to find all the criminals before they're already criminals even before because they're about to do it. So she was the one they used, her abilities, but she couldn't walk, she could barely talk. She was just like in a vegetative state, but she was the most extraordinary person on the planet.
Yeah.
And they used her abilities to get all these future criminals, which
Okay.
they considered criminals,
Yeah.
to arrest them. So Tom Cruise came to help her, to rescue her. And he's the hero in the movie.
Yeah.
And he came and he picked her up. She was in a pond. She was always in a pond. And she was
Okay.
doing her work in this pond.
Yeah.
And seeing the future and who's a criminal, who's about to do the future criminal act. And she would always just lay there in the pond. And when he came to rescue her, Tom Cruise had to pick her up and carry her. Because if someone didn't pick her up and carry her away, she could have never got to where she was going. You're fucking Tom Cruise.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I was the vegetable woman.
No,
Like,
that's
I'll
me.
take Tom Cruise.
That's me.
Okay, cool. Word.
Extraordinary ability,
Yeah.
but I can't move.
Yeah.
I'm in a vegetative state. I need someone to help me, to support me, to carry me to where I'm going.
Wow.
You're fucking Tom Cruise.
That shit was beautiful.
I
Tony.
thought the African was going to be my Tom Cruise, but I'm glad that you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that you're white and he's black.
Right.
But obviously, he wasn't meant to be. Are you enjoying? You're not touching the camera, right? You're getting the story? You're paying attention? Don't touch yourself while you're there in the corner because I'm not looking. Okay,
God.
thanks for coming today. Cheyenne's going to be on again.
Yeah.
He just comes for the free food. No, I'm joking. There's no food. Yeah, food? You want food?
We have grapes. So
We have grapes and stuff like that. I'm sure I can put something together for you. Or we can go
well,
out
I'm
to
going to
eat.
watch it then. I'm happy that I'm Tom Cruise in this
You are
situation.
Tom Cruise.
I'm going to be looking through it from that lens the whole time.
Yeah, because you carry me to where I'm gonna go. Just like he in the movie, in the scene where it was like really dramatic, he comes in, he picks her up and takes her.
Right.
That's you. That's better than Alfred.
Yeah, that is.
John, that's the best I can do.
I'll take it. Let's fist bump on that.
Okay, I don't want to.
All right.
Well, here we are at the end of Pick a Topic
Yeah.
with John, equity partner, cameraman, editor. We're launching April 12. The podcast is going to launch with Podcast Genesis, the very first episode in the old conference room with old everything, the old partner, we had no sign.
Right. They're not going to see this for a while, though, I'll say.
Okay.
They're gonna be like April 12th. My God.
And then April 13, the next day is the launch of the comedy channel
Yeah.
where I do the insult humor, I do the street humor. And we're not really talking a lot about dick and, because you just meet people on the street. You can't just go right to the coochie immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But here on the table, you can get a little raunchier.
Yeah.
And we're very excited for us to continue doing our work. We hope the audience enjoys it.
Yes.
Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me on.
And I would love to have you on in a future episode.
Oh, yeah.
I think we had a lot of fun today.
Definitely. Once we hit some milestone, I'll treat the viewers.
So for 2 weeks after I broke up with the computer guy, I would go and ask people because he really got into my head. And I would tell them a joke, like at Trader Joe's or the market, wherever I am.
Right.
Tell them a joke and they laugh. And then I would ask them. And when I asked them this question, they would look at me like I'm fucking crazy and say, "No, are you kidding? No." They would answer no. Because
They'd answer no to what? What was the question? Oh, are you
the same
crazy?
thing I'm going to ask you.
Oh, okay.
So this whole time, have you been laughing because it's funny, or you're being polite?
No, I really am enjoying myself. I'm having a good time.
2 weeks after I broke up with him, I asked hundreds of people, was that joke I just told you funny, or were you just being polite? And they'd look at me like I'm fucking out of my mind and say, no, of course it was funny. It's funny.
Right.
People don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
They're laughing because the shit is funny. They've never heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
How dare he? Should I get back with him one day? I still love him. Fuck. What have you done to me, John?
Yeah.
But I love being this way. It's just the dick thing I can't get over.
Well, there's nothing I can say to convince you.
No, my dad used to have really bad hemorrhoids. Thank God I only have 5% of what he had. Once or twice a year when it gets really
I
bad.
ended on the hemorrhoids.
Yeah, my wife puts a suppository in my ass, and I'm like,
yeah, I've
"You're the
seen it.
mother of my children. I'll never leave you. I love you. I'll never even consider leaving you." Just so she could be easy when she puts it in there. And yeah, God bless you. I don't know how you guys do it, but even a
Kegels, man.
suppository I can't handle. You know what just came to mind? When I have to take a shit and I'm constipated, and I'm just really squeezing and it's not coming out. And finally, after an hour of sitting on the toilet, it comes through and a big giant piece of caca comes through. And that one moment, I'm like, oh my God, that felt good. Oh my God. Oh my God, it does feel
My
good when it
family
finally
can
comes
never
through.
Watch this one.
It comes down in that one moment. I'm like, oh my God. I want to be constipated again because when it finally comes through and, I guess it expands.
Yeah. Now you got to ask the next woman if that's what it feels like too.
Oh, when you put a penis in there.
Yeah.
Well, they might.
Until next time.
I think I don't want to know because they might just say, "Oh, wow, you were really great, this and that." I've never really had a complaint, except when I break up with the girl. That's when the truth comes out. Oh, Tony, you're really annoying. Your voice is really annoying. Like my wife when she
Yeah.
argues with me. Oh, you're really annoying.
Right.
I'm not
so that's
annoying
when you
I'm.
should ask it.
I'm not annoying when
you're
I'm coming
already
from
on
the
the way to the
side.
doghouse. You know what I mean?
No, but then I don't want to know because I know my wife wasn't a virgin when she met me, and I'm thinking, okay, was she with the guy who had foreskin? Yuck! I don't want to think like that.
God, that was like a long time ago, though. So she doesn't hear.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but does she ever think about it? Does she? I hope not. I hope she just thinks about me. It's been 20 years. Who cares, right?
Yeah, no one's. I don't know. You'd have to be pretty down bad to be thinking about the sex you had 30 something years ago or something.
Well, when I get really, really mad at her, like she had a ex-boyfriend, I know his name. And I'm like, oh, I'm not that guy. And I say his name. It's like, why do you bring him up?
Right.
And I saw him. Remember I told the story about getting a ticket and I went to jail that night.
Okay.
And that I was getting a ticket in Simi Valley and he was there. There's like two
the
sessions.
jailhouse?
No, he was there paying his ticket,
Oh,
going in
gotcha,
front of the
gotcha.
judge at the traffic court.
Yeah.
And there's 2 sessions a day, every single day. And he happened to be in the session that I was in.
Wow.
It was the same time I fought with a one-legged guy. Remember that story?
I feel like I would remember that.
No.
One-legged fight.
I'm pretty sure I told Cheyenne that story. I told you the story about getting into a fight with a one-legged man. And I didn't realize he had one leg until the cops came. And the cops came. I looked and saw. I'm like, you fucking idiot. He has one leg. You're going to jail for sure. They took me for sure.
Wow. See,
Because-
if you were disabled, it would be a fair fight.
Well, I didn't realize he was like spitting and he was cursing at me. And if I knew he had one leg, I would have just let it go. Fuck, he has one leg. He's probably suicidal. But because I talked to people who had one leg after that incident, and they say, yes, if you have one leg, you're suicidal, and you hate life. But I didn't realize until the cops came, and I called the cops to take him to jail
I see. How did you not notice he only had one leg? Though?
because I'm dumb. Because he was behind his car door the whole time.
Oh, I thought you guys were properly fighting. He was just doing like.
Oh
some
no!
pogo
The whole time he was in
moves,
court,
yeah.
and my wife's ex-boyfriend was in court. I was
see.
arguing with this guy, and I should have noticed at that time he only has one leg.
Right.
But he was so rude to me, and actually
See, if you were gay, you would have noticed.
that he has one leg because you look down,
Looking at the legs, you got to check out the legs and be like, wow,
and
that's a nice singular leg or a bad singular leg.
how did I not know?
Yeah. If it was a woman, you would have known.
Oh yeah, that's right. I would have looked down. I would look at her
Exactly.
butt,
See?
and I don't like flat butts. I like the little curve.
Yeah.
The more curve, the better,
Right.
because you can bump into it.
What if it was a single leg woman, but a nice leg?
I don't discriminate.
Yeah. Oh,
She
right.
needs love,
I remember
too.
we talked about, or
And
you talked about that.
and when the butt is a little sloppy, you can tell she's had kids because it's a little
What do you mean
sloppy.
a little sloppy?
You know how like a perfect ass, she's young, she hasn't had kids yet. She hasn't gone through childbirth. So it's a perfect ass, heart-shaped, beautiful. But and the coochie right there, beautiful. Never mind.
See, I don't.
But okay, take it from me. So it's a little sloppy, the ass is a little curvy, curves in the wrong area. Look, she's had 2, 3, 4 babies, which I love. 4 baby pussy, it's even bigger and nicer, and yeah, 5 baby
Yeah.
pussy is like a prize.
Baby?
Yeah, if they had 5 babies come through the coochie,
I see what you're
4
saying.
babies come
Okay.
through the coochie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's the more the merrier,
Wow.
right? I'd be in there, I do a colonoscopy, I check the kidneys okay,
Yeah.
you're fine. Oh my God, coochie. Will you ever try it?
Actually, I've talked about that with my best friend about it. He said, will you have a threesome with a girl? I said,
So
I'll try it.
you're not bi.
no.
There's a lot
But
of
I would I had friends in high school. I had a girlfriend in middle school, actually, but, we never kissed or anything. But I was curious, be like, what would it be like to kiss a girl? I definitely want to feel a boob. Never felt a boob.
So do
I'd
you
go
like-
to a strip club just to ask, to be like, listen, I'm gay.
I'll tell
I
you.
just want to, can I just feel it?
Can I go to the strip club with you? I'll pay. And let's not tell the girl you're gay. They
I
just
don't
want
know.
money. It doesn't matter. You could be like a
But
99-year-old
then I could
man,
probably do it
saggy.
for free.
Oh,
See, it's
shit.
one of the powers.
Oh,
It's one
I'll
of the
tell
powers.
him I'm gay then. But
I don't
tell
know.
me, how does it work? There's a lot of men who are flaming gay, but they have children from previous relationships with women.
Yeah.
But they're totally gay, not like hybrid gay
No, yeah,
like me,
totally.
semi pseudo gay, wannabe gay,
Right, yeah.
say I'm gay.
Right. On the line.
But they're really gay, but they have previous relationships with women, so they're bi.
Yeah. See, they probably had really shit childhoods. Is the boring real answer is like that they just could never accept themselves for so long, and then finally, after living like a horrible life, or not a horrible life, but living in misery kind of sexually, finally, like, flying out of the closet. You know what I mean? So.
And if you're wondering, if you're going to ask back to me, I will never get near another dick.
Yeah, I will never get near another vagina, probably.
But don't you want to touch a titty?
Yeah, but that's like,
I would never, ever, ever, for no money, ever. Well, maybe for like 100 million. Oh,
right. Yeah.
Get that thought out of my head. I love the fact that you came on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have to do this again.
Yes, definitely.
There's many more dick jokes,
Yeah.
coochie jokes, and whatever topic. I think
Yeah.
you picked a couple of topics, the extroverts.
I'll think more about it next time for sure. But yeah.
The way you help some guest and you put like topics,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
up with topics, you should do it for yourself.
No, definitely.
But you're good at coming up with topics. For Taylor the Magnificent, you came up with wonderful topics.
For other people, yeah, but for myself, it's I don't know, just draw a blank. Maybe you could write some topics, or Cheyenne.
In fairness to you, you didn't know you were going to be on today.
Yes,
Because we had
true.
the most beautiful
was
man
a
in the
surprise.
valley was coming, and
Yeah.
he was not able to come today, so he rescheduled.
Right.
And on the spot, I'm like, come in. Because if you knew you were coming in for your own show, for your own podcast, the night before, you would have thought of some topics.
Right, yeah.
So in fairness to you, but you did great.
Thank you.
Everyone's going to enjoy, but okay, now you can say that I did really good too.
Oh yeah, yes.
You
You
don't
did
have to
great.
compliment me back.
No.
No, now you're being polite.
Yeah,
Now you're being polite.
Yeah, because you exposed me. So.
But the jokes, you weren't just being polite.
No, I really wasn't doing this.
Fuck that guy.
What guy?
For telling me that
Oh, yeah.
people are being polite.
Yeah,
It's
fuck
so
that guy.
wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you for you're so supportive. Fuck, I love John.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Pick a topic, enjoy.
Bye.
Funny and loud. Check it out.
Yes.